Okay, independent client, customer McGrath. This is with Vivid Construction. This is phase two. This is going to be the kitchen remodel that we're looking at. Phase one was the new construction area for the master bath. So this will be shortly behind that, but not in the same order cycle. So here on the right hand side, you've actually got a back door, the garage door. You've got this space here, but then you have an offset lean-in pantry in the back of the room. The idea here is to remove the lean-in pantry area and square this corner up to move the refrigerator down to that corner. Now, one of the things we talked about today was making sure that the actual pantry that goes in here has enough room to pull out and be a total pantry pull-out cabinet, tall pantry pull-out cabinet, then not have the space to reach past it. So we want to make sure this is at least a 32-inch in panel. When you look at the side of this refrigerator, it's about 32 inches or so for that refrigerator. So they want to make sure that this is at least a 32 panel, so that when we go to put the pieces in, the actual door pulls out past the front of the refrigerator and into that doorway, which will make it more accessible for both sides. Now, on the length of this wall, once you put in like a 12-inch pantry, a 2-inch filler, 37 refrigerator, 1.5-inch panel, that kind of space, you're going to have 120 inches left from the end of the door jamb, which is the actual moldings, all the way to the end of the end panel of the refrigerator. You have 120 inches or so left there. But when you put the stove in the center of that space, the edge of the stove gets really close to the corner of this. And so we want to make sure that when we do this, we make symmetry around the stove with a built-in type range hood, the ones that complement the looks of the other cabinets. They're not going to do a canopy hood here or a free-hanging hood. They're going to do an insert liner and matching hood to the cabinets. But we want to make sure that symmetry is around that. The cabinet to the left may be a little bit smaller than the cabinet to the right after the symmetry around the stove itself. And again, that'll show itself in the design when we do it, but we're going to do Mom's Attic up here, which is the tall cabinet above the refrigerator. Return panels, but all of that will have to be built out with blocking to about 32 inches deep, additional 8 inches, because they have a standard freestanding refrigerator. And just like you see here, you've got about 10 inches or so of that refrigerator showing. They want that to look built in and then have that pantry pullout come out past that. Now, to the right of the door here, there's about 47 or so inches of space here now. To the right of the door, we've got about 37.25 from the corner to the edge of this plate. It's about 37.25. So we're looking at 37 worth of cabinet, 36-inch upper with a 1-inch fill and a 36-inch base with a 1-inch fill. Now, if you look here, there's actually a plug behind here. That'll have to be raised up to the working height that the cabinet would have to be at. And then also, this bay window is being removed and a sliding door system is being put in here that's going to be about a 72-inch slider with 5 inches of molding around it. So 77 inches worth of sliding door is going here. That means this wall, even though it's only 23 inches now, is going to actually be about 3 feet. It's going to gain another foot or so. So there could be no problem as far as putting the stuff here in the corner that they're wanting to utilize that space. Now, one thing that we noticed on the drawing, especially when you look at the room layout, this space here from the corner to the inset, that's 25.5 inches here in the actual house, but the drawing, the actual roll plan, shows that at like 15 or 18 inches, okay? So that's just a little change, I guess, in the drawing. But the other thing is that if you look at the layout of the room from the end of the door trim back, you can see that these are 1-foot squares. That's only about 8 inches back from the edge of the door trim. Well, in the drawing, the actual layout drawing, this wall is all the way out to here, like 3 feet past where it's at now. So discussing that with the customer, they're like, no, we like this space. We like this walking door that opens, have this space to walk in. They do not want to make this any longer than it actually already is. They just wanted to rearrange some of the walls and add some space to it. So when you measure from the end of that return 25.5-inch wall down there, using the floor squares, measure to here, you've got 132 inches approximately. That is going to be the actual length of the wall. That would be the full length. Now, if you look, this wall here is actually a certain length now, but it is shorter than what they're going to do in the new layout. In the new layout, they want to bring this wall on out to that 132-inch length. Again, in the roll plan, it shows 57 inches of space here. In actuality, it's only going to be about 39, 42, something like that. So 132 inches is the length. We're going to bring that wall out. But visually, right here on the inside corner, this is a corner angle sink now. So the customer is kind of going back and forth about what to do with the corner to get the sink. So if we put the sink in a 72-inch return wall here facing that direction, then the dishwasher will come in after the 90-degree turn and be basically right here where it's at. If we go back with a sink at an angle like this, then you still have a perspective to the left for the sliding doors, but the plumbing and everything that's already here will already be done in the common to the design. So there won't be any rework of that plumbing, that electrical that's there. No rework of the dishwasher. I went ahead and made measurements. This is a 42 base here, 24 dishwasher, 12 base, 25.5 angle, and then here's a 30 base. So this is the layout they have typical to a corner angle sink, and it works, and it's already got all the utilities in place. Again, if you extend the wall, this would just become an L. Now they have an old standard of 47.5 inches for height, which is, it's not done at all anymore. Knee wall height has become usually 42 inches, 40.5 to the bottom of the countertop, 42 to the finish. And she seems to think that that's what she wants to do again because she's kind of used to this layout. I will draw the knee wall space in there at 40.5 and show the upper bar secondary to the lower area. And then if she decides she wants to see it the other way, it's really easy to change to show that both ways. Countertops though, your deck countertop, all one level countertop, is going to be less expensive than the setup edge piece that you have to buy separately for the top of that wall. So do think about that as far as that goes. The electrical that you have here will have to be moved and then added to the new cabinet layout. The walls for the cabinet space, which is this leg, the 72 leg, would be built by the cabinet provider, which will be built by us. But the walls here that have the sheetrock and the extension to them will actually be built by the builder prior to us coming out. And that standard that we're looking at is from this corner out to 132 inches. That's how long the wall is in the plan that I'm going to draw. And so you're going to be 128 or so of cabinets is what's going to go on that wall. Pretty much that's it for a preliminary. I'll get some drawings done, get them back to everybody. I do want to mention the microwave here. Customer was wanting to do a canopy hood, or not canopy hood, but a integrated hood. But they're also looking at maybe taking a 10-inch tall hood, which is the slim hood that they make now, and actually add that as a offset on one side or the other for this area to have that microwave in that area. Batted that around, talked about it. Customers wanting to see it, and then maybe make a choice about that or some other location, like on top of the countertop or in a drawer or in a bottom base cabinet as just a freestanding base cabinet area. So there's some choices still to be made on some of the appliance types and how we're going to use those. If you have any questions about anything, especially since we're doing a preliminary here, let me go ahead and do the, go ahead and do the drawing. All right, here's our drawing. 25.5, 51 3/4, 3 1/4 to the door trim, 74.5 is the overall measurement, 37 is the door, 35 inches behind the door, 171.5 is the full length of the wall behind where the refrigerator and stove are, 37 is the back door, 47.5 is that space with the 3 switches, 37 is the space we can use there. 36 inches is this wall. There's the 72-inch sliding door area, 77-inch sliding door area. Here's the 128 with the 132 wall, 72 return, and then these are the base measurements that are actually already here as far as the spacing. Bottom of the molding in the house is 93.5 inches off the floor. The ceiling height is 96.5 inches off the floor. And as far as the offset, we're doing like a 6-inch setback offset for the workspaces as far as that goes. All right, so if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call at 423-650-1051. Have a great day.